Hello. Hi, I'm Tyler. Oh, great to meet you.
My name is Brandi Glanville, and I am a TV personality and an author. Thank you for coming.
Beautiful dress. I love that.
Thank you so much. Tyler might know me from TV, or maybe he'll know me from my books, but probably not, unless he likes to read about divorce.
Love this. It's toasty and everything.
Yes, exactly. Like, we're not going to sweat enough as it is.
I know, I'm already
I'm the same.
When the door opened, I didn't really recognize my client, but I definitely am not the quickest on pop culture. Have you ever had a reading before?
I have not.
Okay. Basically, I'm just going to kind of scribble. As I scribble, I'll just kind of get in the zone. It's my type of meditation.
Today, my mom and dad are here, and my grandma's here, and my girlfriend Rachel's here. She's like a sister to me. I'm super anxious.
No worries. All good. I never know what's going to come out in a reading, and I believe that what comes out is what we're meant to hear. But fundamentally, my goal when I sit down with a person is to make sure that I leave them better than I found them.
Sure. I don't get nervous, and I'm nervous. I've always been afraid of death and dying. I tell my kids I'm never going to die. I make my parents promise me they won't die. I know that's not reality. I'm a mom of 2 boys. I'm afraid to not be around for my children, so I want to be here for my kids as long as I can be.
It's kind of interesting because on the way here, I felt like I had to kind of touch on mom's side of family, and we'll go from there. So let's see where we're going, and we'll connect. Before I start, usually I hold on to an object, and that can be really helpful. So do you have any?
I do. I have a couple things here.
All right. Okay. Let me see what this is.
If they're mean, tell them to leave. We
Nothing
don't
bad.
like mean dead people.
No, it's all good. Okay, thank you. Got this? Okay. Give me 1 second, just concentrate.
Babe, don't worry.
See what this is.
I'll just sit here sweating and going to a straight panic attack. No worries.
It's all good.
You're fine. Keep scribbling.
No problem. Okay, this is kind of strange. I have to talk about a dog tag. Okay, now I know I'm seeing this because it has sentimental value. Anyone in the military?
Yeah, I mean, of course, my grandpa actually have these dog tags in the inside here.
No way!
Yes.
I love
this is
that.
his handkerchief.
Oh, nice.
And
oh, it's a dog tag.
It is literally
a dog tag.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you. I want you to know he's immediately giving me this feeling the feeling of this rush. And there's a feeling from his perspective of an acknowledgement of knowing that no matter how quickly his situation could have been dealt with, there was no hope. He acknowledges that from his end, he's not bringing up many signs or indications that I even have something wrong with me. The feeling is basically like this happens out of nowhere. Getting to the hospital isn't gonna make a difference.
Yeah, it was literally walking, got his mail and had a heart attack and died in the driveway.
I'm so sorry.
The main person that I wanted to connect with was my grandfather, because we didn't get a chance to say goodbye. I was at my parents' house when I found out. My grandma called and she said, to my mom that my grandpa had a heart attack and is dead, and my mom was sobbing. It was just not something that we expected.
I'm just gonna kind of relay a couple references that are coming through. Okay, and then in the other room, he's acknowledging a reference to grandma for you. How many people are, is there anyone watching? And if so, do we have, how many people?
Dead people?
Living.
My grandma's in the other room.
Right. Thing is I basically want to talk about a grandmother who would be living, who would be very independent, very active. And the way that this comes across is basically saying, I'm not worried about health, but if there are going to be any issues, she might kind of overdo it by her own doing.
Right.
It's not really like grandma really even has to worry about health. It's like she just might have to kind of pace herself.
Dad said quit overdoing it.
Yeah, you don't need to garden every day and live by yourself and be so... I call her gangster bitch grandma.
Shut up, Brandy.
And she does her own thing.
Yep.
She doesn't need anyone.
Yes.
I love her to death. And she's, not to death, I don't want her to die. But
not going anywhere.
No.
Right here. Not going anywhere.
Still around for a long time.
There's a funny story about someone falling off of a roof or putting a... Does that make any sense?
Oh my God.
Are you kidding me?
My dad has fallen off of a roof more than times than I can count. He's a nightmare.
Oh my God.
Honestly. He's in the next room, so I can say that.
Right.
And we love Dad.
Yeah.
But he's fallen off of the roof.
Wow.
He came in and he fell in front of me and he said, call 911. And this is when I was young.
Right.
And but he fell off the roof again. So then I stopped feeling sorry for him.
I'm not worried about a third time.
He
I think he'll be
persisted.
fine.
Well, no,
Well,
you should.
be careful.
Let's worry. Let's worry.
Look at his face.
This is great. Wow.
Just don't die, Dad.
No, you're good.
When Tyler said there's something about falling off of a roof, that was just so random. And the fact that it happened to my dad like multiple times, it was a kind of a joke in our house. At that moment, I knew it was 100% happening. I was like, oh my God, he's really doing it. I have the chills right now. He's like, he's really connecting. That is so crazy.
Yeah, it just came through. I heard it. And that's what I try to achieve in these readings, is bringing up details, the facts, the stories, the inside details that there's no way a person could know. And those really validate that our loved ones are with us, so that we know that Grandpa is okay. Because he comes through like a very stoic is the way that I would describe this. But it's interesting because when he would express his love, he had his own way of doing it, and honestly, in the way that he did, it feels like it was more authentic and profound and sincere than if he would have been the type of grandpa who would have said, I love you 24/7.
Yeah, that's
because he showed his love through his actions.
Right.
And he feels like...
He was a tough guy,
For
a
sure.
little bit grumpy, but I was very close to him.
Right.
And he's the tough guy.
Right.
Like, very tough, and people didn't mess with him. We called him Sarge.
He was a teddy bear.
I somehow
Yeah.
got this big tough guy to let me comb his hair, and it's like, it made my life.
That's hilarious.
Well, his hair was beautiful. It was silky and
Silver.
So I was his favorite. Sorry, guys. My favorite memory of my grandfather was when I got to comb his hair. That was my goal when we would go see my grandparents. I wanted to soften him up a little so I got to comb his hair. You know, I was a middle child, and so you're always fighting for the attention, and he gave me that attention, and then he left us, and I didn't get to say goodbye. When I lost my grandfather, I lost being special for a minute.
That your grandpa is completely at peace. And that though he passed abruptly, and no doubt, you know, he would have preferably passed away in a different way, he has peace and he has closure, and he knows that nothing else could have been done differently. So please know that he's still around.
I think that connecting with him today just made me realize, like, he's not gone, and I am still special, and he's still looking out for us, and he knows that we all love him. We didn't get to say goodbye, and we mourn him all the time. You do so many good things, and it's rare to find somebody that just wants to make people happy.
Absolutely. Well, that's my goal. And I'm just so glad to get to connect. And I never know what I'm walking into, but it's always cool getting to get validation. So thank you for being so open.
Of course. No, it's peaceful. Everyone's getting along. There's no fighting.
No fighting. See, in life, that's where the fighting happens.
That
On the
is
other
so
side-
true.
Yeah, I mean, really. Look, people are always say, are you afraid of ghosts? I say, no, ghosts aren't what you have to be afraid of. It's the living people you have to watch out for.
100% true.
So do you feel better compared to when you came in versus right now?
I'm a new person because I was a ball of anxiety, and I have my Xanax in my purse, and I didn't have to use it.
Good.
You're like human Xanax.
I'm so glad. I need me.
Humans. That's great.
I have this tremendous amount of relief right now. I can't really, I feel like I will be changed forever because I know that there is life after this. Bye.
Bye.
It's so bizarre, but that little ball of anxiety that I had, always wondering what's next, it doesn't matter because I know that there is a next now. Like, I can tell my children now that I might die someday, but I will never leave them.
I'm Erika. Nice to meet you.
Oh my gosh, you look so familiar. Erika Jayne?
I am she.
Yes, awesome.
Come on in,
Wonderful
baby.
to meet you.
Fabulous. This is so exciting. Come on inside.
My name is Erika Jayne Brandi, and I'm currently on Real Housewives Beverly Hills.
I believe my future is bright, and so I'm counting on him seeing it my way. So there, let me tell you what's gonna happen. Okay.
Thank you for having me here today.
Oh my goodness, thank you for being here. I'm super excited.
I am too. I've had a lot coming in on the way here already.
Okay,
So.
all right, I'm open. I'm
Awesome.
open. I'm remarkably calm. I should be more nervous, which scares me. I get nervous all the time, I'm just not right now. I mean, I know a lot of people that are a little bit jealous that I'm in this chair today, so too bad. Everybody wants a reading with Tyler.
Sometimes an object will help make a more direct connection, and other times stuff will come through on its own. So we'll see what pops in, and I'm just gonna give it 1 minute to just connect your energy, and we'll see what comes through. So, let's see.
I have no expectations. I have a picture and an object of 2 family members. I would love like a real nugget today, but if they're not here, they're not here. So there's no expectations on the reading.
Okay. Nope, they're having me hold the over there, so.
Okay.
I feel like that one.
She's talking.
Yeah, I gotcha. All right. Wow. So a lot to process with this. So when I'm holding on to one object, I actually have 2 people who are stepping forward. They're making a very strong point of acknowledging we're together, we're together, we're together.
Good.
And that's important. This woman and this man both come through really strongly. And it's funny because the I'm almost calling her mom, but she's not biologically your mother.
That's right.
So it's interesting the way this comes in. And they're having me talk about the timing in which they passed.
Yes.
And one doesn't live a super long time without the other.
Yes.
It's like one passes and then like.
Very quickly, not too long after.
Yeah.
That's correct.
And there's a protection that they come through with that is very parental.
So my grandparents, they helped raise me. They were kind of my parents. My mother was very young when she had me, and she was a single mom. So my grandparents stepped in and really helped her, and we lived with them several times throughout my upbringing. My grandmother, her name was Anne, and my grandfather's name was Hollis. 2 born and raised, Southern, just, salted the earth people.
This man, he is having me talk about. There's a sweet memory of I'm seeing a man and he's showing me the very like stereotypical like we got the tackle box and the fishing and we're
Get
gonna
out
go
of here!
out.
No
But
way!
He's joking about it of like oh we're gonna bring a girly girl and go fishing like it's
No
a funny
way.
thing. But he's having me remind this and it's like the most it would be the weirdest out of our element situation.
Yes.
And he's putting such a big smiley face around this as like a sentimental memory, something
Yes. Yes, we used to fish together.
that
Yeah.
that's important.
Wow.
He's also joking about someone always having to clog up the toilet. Oh God!
Oh
this
my
is a whole thing. No.
Well, he was a plumber.
Gotcha.
So there you go.
Okay.
There you go. He's a
ridiculous.
plumber. So there you
I was
go.
like, oh geez.
Wow. Nobody knows that. Okay. Well, my grandfather was really my father because my dad was not present, and just a kind, gentle man. He grew up really hard, but provided for a lot of people and had a successful business. And to know that he had memories of us fishing, that to me is just, you can't buy that. I miss that person. So it was nice to have just a little moment of that come through.
There's a reference, I think, with the woman that's coming through. She's having me bring up, on the car ride here, I was picking up on just a woman that was connecting who acknowledged her mental state before she died. There's a reference to a woman who went through a long time before she died dealing with Alzheimer's. And she had me talk about not being as aware as I normally would.
That's her.
Gotcha.
She had a very long battle with Alzheimer's.
Bizarre. This is actually fascinating because on the way here, all I had was this woman coming through who passed away of Alzheimer's, and I could tell very clearly she was like insistent to come through.
She's doing a lot of talking,
Literally, like,
but that's who she was in the physical.
absolutely. Because she's having me bring
Nothing
up
has changed.
when she comes through, the amount of relief that exists there is immense, and
Thank God.
being able to be free
Right.
of whatever she dealt with in the mental capacity.
Yeah, it was devastating.
She does show some form of appreciation for either mom or someone just like touching her hair,
Yes,
like it's
my
this
mother.
thing of like going through the hair and like fixing it, like running my
My
hands
mother
through
took
it.
care of, yes, she did. But my grandmother, she was a natural blonde.
Yeah.
And we used to always say, my God, here is this woman just rattled with disease, but the most beautiful head of hair still. So, it was platinum blondes, naturally all of her life. She was so vibrant, so smart, and so creative that when all of that was systematically taken down and just this person had no quality of life, we were so happy that she didn't have to live that way any longer. Because that's a cruel disease. It's so cruel.
She's bringing forward before she passed. She's putting a very strong emphasis on communication, and she is having me acknowledge her throat. And she's bringing me to here for some reason.
Yes.
She's bringing forward before she passed. She's putting a very strong emphasis on communication, and she is having me acknowledge her throat. And she's bringing me to here for some reason.
Yes.
But she's having me talk very much on communication.
Yes. Because she couldn't speak.
Yeah, so please know, that's,
Yeah.
you know, when they bring forward these things, it's their way of acknowledging that they're free of them, that they're no longer limited to that mindset and that
That's
mentality,
wonderful.
and that they're free of it.
Yeah.
The amount of pride that this woman has for you, I can't even begin to tell you. And, you know, for how you've been able to handle things independently. She had me reference to a pride around her wishing she could have been here physically when you were going through a hard time. She does put this more in a romantic sense, but she's having me acknowledge, like, wishing she could have been that touchstone for you to just kind of call up and be able to connect with. She, too, misses that.
She was lovely.
Yeah.
And we used to talk every day for an hour until she couldn't speak anymore. I have so many memories of my grandmother. I think, you know, just her sheer will and her determination and just how feisty and just, she really was the love of my life. No more tears for this one. Listen, no amount of money, fame, that's zero. It means nothing. This is a human relationship that, you know, it really can't be replaced.
One thing I want to speak on is just like one other person that might be good to kind of keep in mind. They're like being very specific with how we separate the grandchildren situation. So for one, they're for sure acknowledging adult male.
Yes?
They're putting him very separate. They're trying to make a very distinct, like, this one's very different.
He was very different. He's dead.
Oh.
I have two male cousins, one that's passed away, and that's who this is here. This is a photo of my first cousin.
Thank you.
I keep his picture in my closet because, you know, that's where he would want to be, is with my clothes. I mean, that's who he was, you know. He was fabulous and he was glamorous, and damn it, he's in my closet and he's having a glamorous, fabulous time. And that's the way I choose to remember him.
So I do have to say, immediately for some reason, he is having me acknowledge kind of a unique passing. They're putting question marks around this one. When they do that, it tends to indicate that after the person passed, there would have been questions about, like, what exactly happened.
That's
and so,
right.
like, this shouldn't have happened. It's a weird, weird thing.
It was very strange.
If this had been at a different time of day, I don't think this would have happened. Like, and I know that's a weird, bizarre thing to say.
No, you're right.
What time of day was this?
It was in the middle of the night.
Gotcha. What I want to say with this is he's stepping back on accountability with this one. When they do that, that's their way of acknowledging they didn't intentionally end their life. He's saying, I was engaging in like a self-destructive behavior or action or doing something, but then I end up dying, and it's like he's separating the two things.
You're 100% correct on both. It's two separate things. There was the behavior, and there's the accident.
Gotcha.
And it was kind of a perfect storm. And this came out of nowhere and was so devastating. Oh my God. I'll tell you privately.
Gotcha.
I know what it is. Yeah, it makes sense. His life was turbulent. You know, when I think of him, I think of a life unrealized. I feel so motivated is because I know he didn't get a chance. So I have to do all I can because not everybody gets a chance. We as a family, we do have questions. It wasn't so open and shut. So it was nice to see you tune into those two things and bring those forward. Yeah, that was something that nobody could really know.
please know that's his way of coming through and acknowledging that.
Good.
And there is a deep sense of peace there.
Good, I'm glad.
Absolutely.
Because he deserves it.
Yeah. I think it was important for Erika to hear from her cousin today. There were a lot of details around it that he was giving me that I didn't verbalize because I could tell that this was a bit of a sensitive thing. I think his family will take great comfort in knowing that he's moved past a lot of the issues he dealt with in life. So it looks like, was that the people you were hoping to hear from?
That was great. Are the three of these people together?
Absolutely. I mean, for the fact that they all came through today shows that it's like a family reunion.
Great. Be there when I'm ready.
Right. Long in the future.
Get my outfit ready. This is a soul-bearing kind of thing. Those are things that no one could know. You know, it's almost like you're transported back to that moment. You know, it's like you're there again. Oh my God, what an incredible experience. I mean, I feel like such a crybaby, but what a great way to kind of confirm some things that members of my family and I had always thought, and to know that everyone is okay and doing well.